I mean, eventually, if you give heroes a few years, all the players will already have been approved at one point for a visa. So we are going to move on to game 2, Zero Panda. It's just Zero, actually. They're building themselves as Zero versus Ballistix, and we are going to see on Sky Temple. We're going to see that immediate Illidan ban. That's not an Illidan ban. You can't think of it that way. You can't think of it as an Illidan ban. You have to think of it as a Korean Illidan ban. They're banning out a Korean Illidan, which is very different from banning out any other Illidan. You're going to see Ballistix respond with the Falstad ban, and we're actually going to see ETC get picked up here by one of these teams. I guarantee you ETC will be picked up in the first 3 picks of this draft, either by Zero or Ballistix 1 or 2 slot. You're going to see Zero pick up ETC right there. And this is the first time we'll have seen ETC go through in a Asian draft. All tournament. He did not go through. He went through in a couple of the East versus West matches, but not in any of those. We're going to see Ballistix, however, immediately lock in Vala. Vala basically considered the best damage dealer in the competitive meta right now by a large margin. She just needs certain aids. She needs certain supports, certain frontliners to keep her very, very safe, so she can play aggressively and actually output that damage. And the number one thing she needs is a Tassadar. So Ballistix is going to be like, well, you know what? Let's just take the entire combo right now. And it is going to be Vala and Tassadar immediately picked up for Ballistix. And that is just... in the competitive level, that is one of the scariest things you're going to see in draft. Zero going to respond with the Tychus pickup. Tychus considered the other ranged, sustained damage hyper carry at the moment. For anyone who wants to see Samuro, Samuro was played in the Global Wildcard Qualifier. If you want to check out the VODs on my YouTube, you can see some professional teams playing Samuro. Those are the first games the professional team drafted Samuro in a tournament environment. And Zero going to lock in Tychus and Dahaka. So now they have Power Slide into Drag, they have the Global, they have a significant ability to chunk any tank that Ballistix picks up because Tychus. Ballistix decides they don't want Malfurion, which means they're going to ban it out, make sure Zero does not have the option to pick that up. Power Slide into Tenacious Roots is very scary. It gives you 2.5 seconds of lockdown, relatively easy to hit. The Roots is a very easy follow-up to a good Power Slide. Especially with Loon's Grace, you can be pretty far back. And Zero more afraid of Johanna than any other tank, which means Murden is still going to be available for Ballistix. This has been sort of a dynamic we've seen a lot of. Teams want Murden on the other team when they have Tychus, so they ban the other tanks, despite the fact that Murden and ETC are still considered the top 2 tanks. There's some consideration for taking away the Wave Clear as well, just because Wave Clear is more valuable than ever, especially on bigger maps where the minions are stronger. So if you don't have globals, you don't have enough globals, it's very difficult to keep your lanes pushed out if the enemy team has really good wave clear. And Muradin, Brightwing going to be the pickup. Brightwing Tassadar, absolutely insane synergy. It's something Ballistix has always really liked to run. Muradin, of course, standard pickup, and they're going to have a lot of support for that Vala. We're going to see Kerosene picked up again for Zero, and I'm curious to see if this is going to be heal Kerosene or if it's going to be damage Kerosene. It did work for them really well in the last game. Seven-sided was doing a ton of work. And it is going to be the Jaina. So they're going to power slide into drag into Jaina combo. That's going to be an instant kill. Brightwing will have to take cleanse. And they do have some solution to the burst in the form of Tastar shields. Tastar has the largest non-heroic heal in the game. Shields aren't really, healing per se. In some ways they're better, in some ways they're worse. But Ballistix is going to last pick Tyrael. Sanctification is going to do a lot to negate that potential burst Wombo combo that Zero has kind of drafted around. Samuro has a place in the meta. The maps we saw Samuro on were Infernal Shrines, because he actually is a pretty good shrine babysitter. And on that map in particular, with the terrain, his clones can get really confusing very, very quickly. He's also viable on BHB for camp taking. Although BHB doesn't get played a lot in pro meta. And Battlefield of Eternity, he's actually the best racer on Battlefield of Eternity, which is a huge consideration if you're going for certain styles of drafts. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to see how the Samuro shakes out until he's not globally banned. He's currently banned in most tournaments because of the Illusion Master issue. So we'll have to wait and see. We are gonna have Zero on the left. We'll have Melody C on Jaina, M on Dahaka, Gemini on Karazim, SK on Tychus, and 6 on ETC. On the right-hand side, we'll have Ballistix, SCSC on Vala, Zhangha on Tyrael, Noble S on Murden, Natrojin on Tassadar, and Swoi. That's Swoi support on Brightwing. Ballistix going to immediately go for Vision, always looking for the fight. And we're going to see Zero just sort of set up in the bush. Noble S already getting that going with Perfect Storm stacks. 18 seconds into the game, already has 1 Perfect Storm stack. We're going to see a beautiful power slide and the erase. The erase. That is the power of drag into power slide plus the Jaina combo. We're going to see M immediately burrow to the top lane, not going to miss any soak. Jaina's going to rotate to the bottom. And Zero is going to casually not miss any soak after getting a pick on one of the hardest heroes in the entire game to kill, played by arguably the best player in the world on that hero. Casual. We're going to see power slide again into drag, pulling him away. And are we going to see another kill? We're going to see another kill. Zhangha is going to go down here. The Death Explosion not going to get any value whatsoever. M actually dodging it with Burrow. And that's 2-0 on the board. Chinese teams famous for their aggression. Variant actually is allowed. There was a tweet about it from someone at NetEase. Variant is allowed for the tournament. We just haven't seen him picked up because teams aren't used to playing or drafting with him yet, so I don't think we're going to see him. But he is allowed. We're going to see SCSC take a lot of damage. Noblesse with the peel. Natrojin is there with the shields. Strong contesting in mid here. Both teams want to get the middle temple shots, it looks like. No one's top yet, but we do see Tyrael is soaking. And this is a 4v4 right now. Tyrael finally rotating down. This is going to be a 5v5 all of a sudden. Tyrael going to come in. They do manage to finally bully Zero off. Zero just couldn't set up their combo. They waited and waited and waited for somebody out of position to get that value power slide. They're going to get it this time. We're going to see immediately the jump actually interrupted by face melt, but Noblesse is going to be like, that's okay, I'll come back in. And Blizzard's not available for 15 seconds. That is the kill potential, most of the kill potential from this comp from Zero. So as long as Blizzard's on cooldown, Ballistix feels confident they can be aggressive like this. They're going to focus on M, try and get that kill. M does back out. They don't manage to pull it off. They're going to get, again, the shot after shot after shot here. And if they could get half of this and all of top, they would actually be significantly ahead. We are going to see Zhangha back. Wants to make sure he has full health and full mana. We are going to see Noblesse take the vision. This is going to give them more control over the middle temple. It's very dangerous to be on the middle temple without having that vision. CSC is going to stay Soak that up. Brightwing's going to rotate down. Brightwing can Z back up. We are going to see, again, a beautiful power slide into drag on Noblesse. He's going to take so much damage from Tygus. He does get immediately erased. That 3-man combo over and over and over again. And it looks like, in the end, Ballistix has better soak, Zero has more kills, and they're going to trade the temples relatively evenly. So far, a relatively even match. We're going to see Swipe does pick into that Peekaboo, which means he is going to have that vision granting ability. We're going to see he does Z to the top lane. He's going to push in with his Bruiser Camp. He's going to stay in that top lane until the bottom temple is ready, until his team needs him in that lane. Couldn't get that out. We're actually going to see... we're not going to... Oh, we are going to see Thunderbird, right? Guys, I'm blanking on the new color scheme for Meridian's level 4 talents. It's late. We're going to see a rotation here. Ballistix going in the more traditional route. They are grabbing Siege Camp. They're going to push in with it. They grab the Siege after the Bruisers. Normally, you see the Siege grab before, just because it does allow you to push in and potentially get some real pressure onto the well. And if you can get that well down, you actually will be able to have a better chance of capturing the bottom temple, just because you'll have more sustain. You're going to see they are going to get more damage onto the wall here after that rotation. Dahaka did stay in the top. He is going to clear out, but he does finally Z down here. We see him coming into the back line. Noblesse going to be absolutely fine here, but Melody C is extremely low. We're going to see a raw drag landed. 0M takes a lot of damage. 0-6 with a beautiful 3-man power slide that does finally secure the kill on SCSC. He does end up going down. Noblesse is going to go come extremely close. Material ends up going down. Duke's Death Explosion, again, not getting the value they really wanted, not securing the kill, and the counter push is going to do a lot of work here. They're going to start to get their own damage on the towers. Again, Noblesse, Power Slid, the Face Melt, almost securing the kill, but Drag apparently not available. 0-6 takes a lot of damage, but he does manage to get out of there barely in time. We're going to see a replay of that fight. We can see 0-6 gets extremely low, and Ballistix feels themselves hungry for the kill, but they get a beautiful 3-man power slide. The focus fire is real, and SCSC just gets erased. Tyrael in the back line could not get away. Already uses Eldruins to aggressively engage. And we're going to come back into this fight. Gemini gets extremely low, is forced out of the fight. Neither team's level 10 yet, which is the big consideration. As soon as one team gets 10, they are going to be forced to back off. We're actually seeing Q build out of Jaina. Really high sustained damage. We'll still have quite a bit of burst options. Ballistix is on the point. Zero's almost level 10. Karazin was forced to back. He is on his way down here. Jongha on the point. Gonna get those shots. He will have an escape. He can Eldruins over the wall to get out of this situation. He actually can Eldruins poke, see where everyone is, and then reactivate his Q to get completely out of there. Ring of Frost, 7-sided strike, isolation are the pickups here. Draken Laser Drill. I imagine we're going to see stage dive, but also imagine we're going to see EC hold that for at least a little bit to make Ballistix think, is he going Mosh? Is he going stage dive? Is he going Mosh? Is he going stage dive? No reason to lock that in until you're actually going to use it. It just forces the enemy team to keep checking it. Maybe they get distracted. And we are going to see that all of the remaining bottom temple go over to 0. Ballistix is going to catch up here, get level 10 momentarily, but they are currently a full level behind. We're going to see Sanctification, Avatar, Rain, of Vengeance, Blink Heal, and Forest Wall be the pickup for Ballistix. Mosh Pit is actually locked in for 0, so they're not opting for the global on this map. They have Dahaka, that's more than enough. They want that potential. Polymorph, Rain of Vengeance, and Stormbolt are the cancels. So, Rain of Vengeance needs to be down, Stormbolt needs to be down, or Murder needs to be in the Mosh, and Polymorph or Brightwing needs to be dead or in the Mosh. So those are the considerations that 6 is going to have to think about for the rest of the game whenever he's looking for that power Mosh. But that's not a terribly unrealistic scenario, honestly. Rain of Vengeance, even though it does have 2 charges, you know, SCSC would should be careful to save one of them, but it's possible he gets greedy for a kill, ends up using both of them, and then we get some sort of counter initiation mosh. Quite possible. We are going to see Nachogen shielding the minion there to keep that wave pushed out as far as possible. Does not want to let it get pushed in if possible. M is going to sit in this bush waiting for Swoi to overextend, which I don't think is going to happen. We're going to see them rotate down. Grab the Bruiser Camp, start to do work on that. You see them burning it down. And we'll give them some lane pressure in the top lane. But again, it's going to be very easy for the Haka to clear that out. And Zero just soaking at this point. They do have a potential to get 13. Despite everything, all of the forts are still alive for both teams. Neither team's actually managed to secure that first fort kill, which level 13 on Sky Temple is not usual. Normally, at least one fort, is down. We're going to see Swoi on the point. We're going to see a beautiful party here from Ballistix. But 6 comes in the back. He's like, that doesn't seem right to me. We're going to see Tassadar on the point on the bot. That means this is a 4v4 in the top lane because M is down there as well. We're going to see Swoi actually come down. Brightwing's going to come down with the Z, get the reveal. They're happy with the shots that they stole from top. That was enough. They don't want to fight down a Talon tier. They're going to wait till they get 13. We're going to see Noblesse check the bush with a Stormbolt. Chinese bush meta is a real thing. You just always got to be checking bushes. All the time, checking bushes. You see the rotation down. 13 finally picked up for Ballistix. Top fort does go down, which means Ballistix is the first team to lose a fort. Mid fort goes down as well. Or, excuse me, bottom fort goes down as well. And we're going to see a healing static picked up. Gloom, Imposing Will, Prescience, and Shield Dust are the pickups. And we're going to see a little bit of a collapse here onto Tychus. He does take so much damage. He actually throws down the laser. We're going to see Mosh, but it gets instantly interrupted by that Rain of Vengeance. And Laser's actually going to finish off SCSC in the background, as well as the drag from Dahaka. That ends up being a 1-for-1. Both teams lose their range carry, and that's a beautiful ring. Actually does end up hitting. And Tyrael is going to go down off the back of that ring. The Death Explosion is going to get some value. Actually chunks 3 heroes, but is it enough? It is not. We're going to see a Prescience actually get activated, but not enough. He doesn't have the heal at 16 yet, so he is going to go down. That ends up being a 3-for-1. 3-for-1. Zero considerably ahead right now over Ballistix. 8 kills to 1. A full level lead. They're ahead in structures by a tiny amount. In every way you can be ahead, they are ahead. They're ahead in experience, they're ahead in kills, they're ahead in structures, they're ahead in mercenary captures. Like, they are everything. Ballistix going to clear their lane, start trucking around the Mac. They do have Brightwing in the top lane, soaking that experience. They trying to catch up. Xiangha senses the collapse. His spidey senses were tingling. He gets out of there. You can't fool an angel. It's going to be 16 to 14, and this is the point where Zero is really going to try and push in. They do have the Siege Camp pushing into the bot lane. They want to secure this fort. They're going to try and get that damage. We do see a beautiful power slide. Noblesse gets isolated and almost goes down, dodges the ring, and then jumps over. 2 people do get caught, but Swoi is going to be able to blink out. Noblesse is just so incredibly low. He does finally end up going out. Absorbed a ton of damage. Swoi is dead as a doornail. No possibility he gets out. Unless he has a blink target. He does have a blink target. Manages to get out of there. Never mind. I don't even know why I think Swoi could ever die. But Karazim is going to go down in the background after all that fight. So 1-for-1 when you're behind in experience is totally worth it. Ballistix is unhappy they lost the fort, happy they traded 1-for-1. But I cannot believe that the chase on Swoi allowed the rest of the team to secure that kill onto Karazim. $16 to 16 now. We are going to see the aggressive invade here by Ballistix. This is now their temple. Thank you very much. Murden is alive and well, is going to rotate up to the top lane. And we can see again, Zhang Han making sure they have that vision. You really don't want to be securing middle temple if you do not have that vision controlled. Because it makes it very easy for the enemy team to know what your rotations are, how many people you're leaving on the point, if they can contest for free, if they can catch someone out of position. We're going to see Nacho Jin now that he has 16. He was already playing fairly aggressively with his positioning as Tassadar, but now you're going to see it be even more aggressive. He has basically 3 full health bars, so if he's on his first one, he's going to get, aggressive. If he's on his second one, maybe he'll be a little passive. If he's on the third one, he'll start to back up. But he's going to play much, much more aggressive. It's going to allow Noblesse to get even more free poke with those Storm Bolts. Neither team yet securing a fort. All of the outer structures are completely gone for both teams. And the remaining temples will start to do real damage to the keep walls and then to the keeps. Noblesse taking a lot of damage there. The beautiful face melt actually denying him mid-jump. 6 on point with these face melts over and over and over again. Noblesse's jumps have been interrupted time and time again. And another one. Sanctification comes down, but too far away to actually act as a safe mechanic to allow that engage to happen correctly. And this is literally face melt denying jumps, denying good sanks, denying over and over and over again everything Ballistix is trying to do, just one after another. But Noblesse finally going to take tons of damage. Nope, he does. Nope. And Brightwing actually gets moving on. Swoy not quite able to make anything happen. That was a lot of burst damage from the Jaina. We're going to see Tyrael get isolated as well. Mosh comes down. Rain of Vengeance for the instant interrupt. Noblesse is going to get out of here because of that force wall from Nacho Jin, because of the jumps. See him take a lot of damage there from the Radiant Dash from Kharazim. Is the fight over? It's always hard to tell with Korean and Chinese teams if the fight's actually over, if they're just like taking a breather. The fight is actually over though. It ends up being 2 for none. Top Temple is going to go over to 0. They even managed to steal the Bruiser camp. We're going to see EDC grabbing Siege in the bot there as well. Rotation from the rest of the team going to help him out, speed that up. 0-6 going to hang out in the bush, do the tank mobile ward thing, scouting for his team, making sure they do not get invaded. And we are verging on the point where a single temple secured for 0 will potentially secure them a keep if it is in the right lane. Both top and bottom have sustained considerable damage from pushes plus temple shots, which is something Ballistix is going to have to consider. The temple phase comes up. So which of their keeps is most damaged? So which temple do they absolutely need to contest? And 0 at this point is going to shark around. They have to be this aggressive to get the soak that they're looking for because they want level 20. They don't actually want to fight. They just need to be that far forward on the map to get to them anyway. We're going to see Emerge into the top lane. That is the benefit up to Haka. And again, that primal aggression at level 1 is going to give him such incredible amounts of wave clear. And we're going to see again Noblesse take a lot of damage, but jump is there this time. The force wall does split the fight. He manages to disengage very, very safely. And they see the Haka in the top lane. They have they're split as well. Ballistix is not all together. They actually don't want to pick a fight. They just want to make it look like they're trying to pick a fight so that Brightwing can soak safely in the bot lane. They want to keep vision of 0 and keep them occupied, keep them from mounting, keep them from having safe rotations. And you can see M did back for full health and full mana. And again, 0 just waiting patiently. They're perfectly happy to get 20 and then force the fight. Whereas Ballistix really, really would have preferred to force the fight earlier than that. Mid-Temple is going to be lucky. That's actually a little bit fortunate for Ballistix. I believe their middle keep wall is still pretty healthy, which means they're not going to lose the keep to the Temple, even if they lose the entire thing. We're going to see, a catch here onto M, though, in the bot. They can easily get that kill. The Polymorph is there as well. The drag. What? Did they just run away 3v1? They just ran away 3v1. They didn't want to get collapsed on. They don't want the fight to get forced. They missed their opportunity to get the pick. SCSC is 100% going to go down here. No possibility he lives. Oh, the Tassadar shield, maybe. Nope, not enough. And Ballistix made an interesting decision there. First, they were like, okay, let's kill M. And then they're like, oh, no, they're rotating on us. We can't kill M. We need to leave. And then they ended up getting incredibly split up. A little bit of miscommunication there. It felt like there was one person calling one thing and one person calling another thing because they don't usually split like that in the late game. We're going to see Boss get burned down here by 0. That will get capped pretty much instantaneously. Meanwhile, Ballistix trying to force the fight on the point, knowing that they are in a 4v3 situation, 4v2 situation, because some of the people are on are on the point. Noblesse, again, going to run away, jump over the wall. Should be absolutely fine. But the chase is real. Ballistix does manage to do that without giving up any additional kills, but now they need to defend against boss, which means they're going to have to give up the rest of Middle Temple for free. And all that soaking Ballistix did was not wasted. They are going to be able to contest 20 versus 20 over the next objective. The game winning or game losing, depending on which side you're on, fight has not happened just yet. Boss is going to get this entire bottom wall. This does mean that a subsequent bottom temple will secure bottom keep 100%. Which is something Ballistix is going to have to be concerned about. If there is a double temple phase, the bottom temple is going to be the most valuable one for Zero, which means Ballistix is going to be forced to contest. So they need to make sure they're in a situation where it is safe for them to contest. We're going to see Zero grab that bottom siege camp. Ballistix, meanwhile, going to rotate top, grab their bruisers. Looks like Zero is going for the invade here. Tassadar will not be here and does not have a global, but it doesn't matter. They managed to get it. We're going to see a beautiful power slide. Again, so much damage. Vaulting into the Sank. The Sank is on point. Ring comes down, however, and SCSC stands in it, gets absolutely erased. Melody C is going to go down. That ends up being a 1-for-1 so far. Tassadar is now here. There's lots of sustain. The laser comes down for the zoning. It's actually not in range of anything. And that ends up being a 1-for-1. The Bruiser camp was established, so it is going to be pushing in that top lane while this is going on. If they can hold this fight, or if they can secure kills, they will have lane superiority because they can clear the bottom siege relatively easily. Noblesse pops Avatar. He does have the healing static. He is going to get a lot of healing out of this. Heavy Impact trying to secure those kills. And we're going to see SK go down, maybe? He does. He finally ends up going down. That ends up being a 2-for-1. Now, this fight has been going on and on and on. And Gemini's trying to get away, but the force wall for the deny. Storm Shield comes up again. You know a fight's been going on a while when Storm Shield gets used more than once. And bottom keep is going to potentially go down off the back of that fight. The siege camp was pushing in that entire time. Bruisers in the top lane will get cleared up. They did get the disengage, but for the moment, Ballistix is 5v4 on the map, and if they can leverage that into securing both of these temples, but no, Zero goes bottom, steals the shot, some of the shots, enough to secure a bottom keep, and that will be the first keep of the game going over to Zero Panda, but Ballistix immediately getting mid keep as well. That is a keep for a keep on the back of that. You're going to see Ballistix secure the majority of these shots. They're getting all of mid. They're going to get most of bottom. Swoi is already on top of that. And we might actually see top keep go down here as well. The Bruiser camp push was almost sufficient. 5 shots left. It is going to get the keep. That's 2 keeps down for Zero. Ballistix now has 2 open lanes, 2 open win conditions. That has 2 lanes of catapult pressure. They are going to get a lot of real damage onto the bottom keep off this bottom temple as well, but we're going to see a full 5-man collapse. This is going to be the next team fight. We do see M is actually still in the top lane, pushing in that wave, trying to make sure that Bruiser camp gets a lot of value. And 0-6 going in without him there. We do see M finally coming in, but the Sank ends up coming down, and we're going to see a lot of damage. Mosh actually comes down, gets instantly interrupted, doesn't do anything. The zoning ring, the zoning laser, those are not good hits, unfortunately. Without those high impact heroics, Ballistix sustain is going to be able to carry this fight. Melody C is going to go down. I don't think we can get away. Nope. Does manage to force it off, but 0M's taking a lot of damage. They do finally get the kill. 0-6 is going to go down here as well. That's 2 for none. And Gemini is dead here. 3 for none. They get Melody C caught in a corner. 4 for none. They can chase this Tychus down, or they can just go end the game. They can chase the Tychus down and end the game. That's the best of both worlds. That is the ace, ladies and gentlemen. Ballistix team fighting superiority is not to be underestimated. That will be 2-0 Ballistix over 0. It's an absolutely beautiful game.